and then use the brush tool. Let us make a color selection. Okay, now let's select the marquee tool, or let's select the polygonal lasso tool and then zoom in, make a selection, let's complete the selection here. And to remove the selection in these areas, what you can do is you can hold Alt and then make a selection which would remove these selections. The Alt key removes the selection, and then the Shift key adds the selection, right? Let me again press Alt and remove these areas. Say for example I need to add a selection in this area, so I can hold Shift. When I hold Shift, I get a plus symbol. When I release Shift, the plus symbol is gone. Let me hold Shift, click here, and then add a selection. Now I can add some feathers, say 2, and I can come back to the brush tool, select the brush tool, select a color, increase the diameter, reduce the hardness, and then just go along painting, right? And oops, I forgot to create a new layer. Let me undo and then create a new layer, and then start adding. Let me increase the brush. Alright, so let me select the marquee tool and then deselect. Let me zoom out. The brush tool is used to paint, and the pencil tool, when I right click on the brush tool, the pencil and select pencil tool, it's used to just draw, right? And you can always decrease the hardness and increase the diameter, right? So let's keep the selection. Let us inverse the selection here, inverse, and then select the pencil tool and then start painting. Let's not reach that area. And let's press Ctrl D to deselect, right? So basically the brush tool and the pencil tool is used to paint, right? So let me delete this layer and then close this image, and let's move on with the eraser tool. Eraser tool is again used to erase. Let me open up this image or this image, and then try deleting, and again you have the hardness option here. Let's see what happens when I have full hardness and then try deleting an object. When I delete and zoom in, right, it's so hard. So let me select the eraser tool and then reduce the hardness, reduce the diameter, then try to delete. You get smooth edges, right? As if, yeah, right. Okay, so again, the background eraser tool, and right click here, I have an option which is background eraser tool, the background eraser, right? So let me move here. Now currently the background color is white, so I have to remove this background color and there shouldn't be any color. In that case I can select this background eraser and then just go ahead and erase everything. Make sure you do not touch the image there. And now let's use the crop tool and then crop this particular area. Now what is the use of this background eraser? Now as the background is gone, I can always come back here, create a new layer, move it down, right? And then I can always come here, select a color, and then fill the color by pressing Alt and backspace, right? So now you can change the background. This part isn't erased correctly, right? Let me crop. Now you can always come back here and then change the color, right? This is why we use the background eraser. Now the next eraser tool is the magic eraser tool. Let's see what happens. Let me click here. It removes all similar colors, right? When I click here, it removes all similar. Let me select this layer. Let me click here. It removes all similar colors, right? It's gone. When I select this layer and click here, all the similar colors are gone. Alright, so let's come back to the next tool. It's blur tool. Blur tool is again used to blur images. Let me give you an example. Let me open up Adobe Bridge. Let me open up this photograph. This is one of my photographs, right? Now all these areas here are a little sharp, right? I want to concentrate on this particular area, make this outstanding in this whole image. So I can use this blur tool. Let me create a new layer here, right? And let me crop this image first. Let me crop it here. Let me make the center. Okay, let me crop it and let me change the color to, let me reduce the saturation. To reduce the saturation, you can press Ctrl plus U and then reduce the saturation. Let me reduce the saturation on this area also, on this layer. Let me click OK. Now these areas are sharp, right? They are outstanding. I want to make this particular area outstanding. So what I can do is select the blur tool, right click here and increase the diameter, and then start blurring the areas that I want to blur.